born again. The sea tosses you around, beats you into submission. You can't make it out unscathed. You roll around the sea floor, feeling hopeless. You can never make it out of this vastness. The waves beat you into the sand, while parts of you break off and parts of you strengthen. You wear thin in places, but grow hard skin. The vastness brings you near a shore, pushing you towards escape, though not letting up its strength. The last stretch is by far the hardest, but by God, once you've made it, you've made it. You're out and alive, birthed by the sea. Ekphrasis. I am nameless. I am unhappy. I am addicted to my sadness as I am to tobacco. My love is trapped beneath my dark cloak, wreaking havoc on my marriage. He knows not of my state, nor my lacking desire to live, leaving him confused and hurting. I mourn for his loss as I am long gone. I feel I no longer reside right here next to him where I felt I've always belonged, but I am lost. She is unhappy. Try as I may, there is no changing this. I put that ring on her finger so gently all those years ago, looking into her beautiful eyes, and it seems its meaning is lost. She does no wrong, yet she also does no right. I feel I have lost her. She is gone. I wish we could go back, but she is lost. I remember. I remember rubbing my eyes and seeing red stars sparkling amongst the deep darkness. I remember stumbling in a classroom and feeling the heat rushing to my cheeks. I remember getting into a laundry bin and thrashing to get out of the constricted mess. I remember acting based on pressure from old friends. I remember entering new levels of school and not knowing which direction to turn in the confusion. I remember crying after accidentally saying hell instead of heck in 3rd grade. I remember wanting but not getting a role in the musicals. I remember finally getting a choral solo and fulfilling one of my passions. I remember the checkered bath mat and counting and connecting each matching color. I remember trying to communicate with a new student in 2nd grade who spoke only Spanish by using my extensive vocabulary of the words for house and cat. I remember consoling that same girl when her mother suddenly passed away. I remember my nose bleeding at a funeral. I remember reprimanding myself for giving wrong answers, and I remember living but never reaching the perfection I sought towards. Marionettes. They lay there. Dozens of severed heads, limbs, torsos, forgotten playthings, lifeless without a puppeteer, yearning to be loved once again. Hollowed limbs tangled together into a singular mass of arms and legs, forming into one being. Eye sockets stare off into the distance, searching for a way out of this chasm, searching for a way back to affection and away from animosity. Dirt, dust, and grime collecting on the surfaces of each wooden shape signify time past since love was present, time past since warmth was felt. Soon, warmth will return in a new form than previously known, and the figures will cease to feel such pain. They will burn with expressions of joy. They will burn knowing of love. Timeless. In an old, abandoned building, there is a room. In that room resides hundreds of clocks, all stopped at different times. All we know for sure is minutes and hours, no way to tell day or night. What was occurring at the time of their malfunction? A death time, a birth time, any event could have happened. A celebration. One time could signify so many different things. An accident, so many emotions and phases. A mourning. One time could be the beginning or end to us all. An acceptance. Annual Renaissance. The trees were starting to bloom, flowers budding from their green cocoons, opening and taking in the light. A bird built upon its nest, preparing for new spawn, whistling its own unique sweet song. Water in the still creek rippled as tadpoles swam beneath, accompanied by a mothering bullfrog. Meanwhile, a girl sat on her blanket, watching as nature unfurled around her, her sketchbook resting open on her lap, the attached ribbon bookmark floating in the thawing breeze. A pen lay uncapped on the grass beside her, and an ant made its way up before an item. The girl's glasses perched atop her tawny locks, foggy from the early morning mist. Rays of light shone through the sprouting canopy above, breaking through the filmy air. Bright. She peels the clementine, its bright tang permeating the air, all the while staring at its candied artificial counterpart with its unnatural neon orange and sugar coating. Turning her attention to the natural, she pulls the fruit in half, watching its strands fight with force, continuing this process as she pulls away each segmented piece. She puts a piece in her mouth, and as she bites down, feels the citrus burst with the same bright tang, exhausted as when it was peeled. This brightness danced across her tongue, stumbling where she had bitten it earlier that week. Soon enough, there was no fruit left to be consumed. Neat piles of peels and artificial orange slices, all that remained. Her mind tempted her to eat this candy, but the contrast of the sweet from the plant and sweet from a factory turned her off to the idea. And so the fake fruit sat there, casting its small shadow upon the table next to the peel of its earthly companion.